my name is Russell Scott at scottcarvings.com. Let me adjust a little bit here. I'm not going to show right away what I'm going to do. The reason why is I am going to take a cutout that I have no instructions for and try to create something from that. Take a look at it, take a pencil, see what we can do, adjust the camera so you can see. There we go. A little bit here. Perhaps I should have done a little prep before I get started. But anyways, this is what I do. I like doing stuff like this, is taking, I'll show you, this is a cutout. So don't ask me about presenting. I might end up presenting what is the finished product as maybe as a pattern. But the thing here is this is a Marv Kaiserstadt cutout, for those who are familiar with him. And so I really don't want to, take credit for this cutout, if that's the best way to put it. If you're interested in this particular cutout, that's why this is a good time to take a shout out to Chris Willock, who takes care of stuff like does the cutouts and stuff like that. His name is Chris Willock, and if you are interested, first I also want to do a little shout out to, oh, get back here. How'd that happen? My computer there. The Carve Fest, www.carvefest.com. What that is a class where a bunch of wood carvers get together and look it up. It's usually in the second weekend. That is Thursday, Friday, Saturday only in August. And if this, when you're seeing this video, it's like well past that, still contact Chris at woodcarverswarehouse.com. So it'll put you on the list for the next year, and you can see. Generally, if you see it, if you get on there and he has the old list of the class that just passed, it's kind of almost the same, give or take. But anyways, if you're interested in this particular rough out or cutout, see what it's this Marv. I don't know what he's doing. I think I don't know what he's holding on to. I probably, if I dig deep enough, I can, or even ask him, I can find the pattern, but I'd rather create a pattern of my own. This is one of the things that I like to do. I'll kind of a little quick shout out to is this book from the Character Carvers of America. The reason why I did this, I got this book and the cutout. It's thinking through outside the cutout. This is kind of a little bit of what we're doing today, is just taking a one cutout, and that's what they did. I got this at Stevens Point, and they had all of the character carvers there, and I got to get all their autographs. That's always fun when they do that. But here's the rough out. And if you're interested, way at the bottom there, it says go to the character carve, www.cca-carvers.org. Way at the bottom there, if you're interested to get that rough out and take the challenge, get the book, show what all the other character carvers are doing. And another reason why I'm doing that is because I bought one, and here's my version of that rough out. See if I can fit him in. How wide can I do this? I got all my other junk in the background there. Oh well. So that's my answer to that. I like doing stuff like that. That's why I'm bringing this up right now. And that's how this thing connects. Like, for example, there, see, he's got his hand in the back there. Normally, I would put his hand doing something else. But according to this rough out, that's the way it is, and you have to work with it, and so on. And this is a Sami Santa. The Santa's from northern Norway, the Sami land up there. and it's sort of my version. If you ever see those pictures, there are a lot of blue and yellow, and they got these really floppy. You look it up; they're very colorful. But then I decided to use a little, sort of almost like a dark. What am I calling it? Reindeer skin. Anyways, so let's move on. Enough with the yada yada yada, and let's get on the getting here. And like I said, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this rough out, and I am going to do something with it. And I'm looking this over, and he's got the head. I want to call it if you're familiar with the Marv Kaiserstadt head, it's always square. And and this particular gentleman here, he's got his arm up, and I thought what I was going to do is I was going to make him so he'll have like a cigar in his hand, and then this hand comes down, and it's just going to have something in his hand. And I thought for a while, well, we'll just make a cowboy out of this. And since, again, you look at the head, there isn't much room for a cowboy hat, but I will put the hat in his hand. So in other words, work with what you got. If you got a cutout and you got and there's no pattern for it, or you don't like what you like the cutout, but you just don't like the pattern, create your own. That's what this is all about. And I got on the internet and I got a picture of a particular cowboy. I love this picture right here. Is this old man here? I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to do the vest and the shirt, and then the buckle. I'm not going to have the gun, and I'm not going to have him wear the gloves because he's got the chaps on. So like he's ready to get on the horse. And so I'm just going to have just a simple jeans at the bottom. And I was thinking about having that Native American neck ornament. I think about putting that in. But I really like this gentleman here, this older gentleman. He looks like he had a lot of miles, hard miles, but he's got many miles in front of him. He looks like a tough old guy there. That's a beautiful picture. As a matter of fact, I've seen the same one somebody photoshopped and did all kinds of artistic stuff to it. So that's what I'm going to kind of go with. And as for the hat, I got this prepared here, and he's just going to I'm going to have to shape it. It gets right now it's a little longer because I wanted to get it in the hand. So in other words, when we smooth out how the brim of the hat is very thin, that's what I'm going to do, and then have the hand come out, so it's going to come up in there a little bit. And just found I got just a hunk of wood for the top. I'll figure something else out as we go. But with that, let's get going. And let's start making this into a cowboy. All right, back to, I did kind of clean up my area a little bit. And then also, well, I think the problem I had was, compared to my last video, was that I've had the camera pointing towards the back when it should be up pointing down. That's better. I got this new boom style tripod here where the camera is literally in front of my face. I'm gonna have to kind of work with that, of course. And the legs are well off to my right. So let's get cracking now that I got a better deal going on here. And put my reading skepticals on. Now the thing I'm going to do is maybe just a little higher, a little bit out of the way here. And what I want to do is, because of the head Now the head is more longer than it is wide. And so I am going to turn the head. I don't know if I'm going to turn it completely at a 45-degree angle, but I'm going to just, and I'll start like that with this particular piece. Also, since you'll notice that the head is much bigger than we probably need, I think this one probably came with some kind of a hat. I could still use a little bit of, I can take some of the head and use a little bit of the neck to make room for this Native American neck ornament here, I think. Now I did get quite a bit of thought about all of this, but like I said, since this is coming from a piece of cutout that I have no directions to, this could very well be a disaster. But if you see this, more than likely it probably turned out okay. So I'm going to give him a wide arm for now. Maybe a little bit thinner. And I want to make this arm as wide as long here. Now, how's this? How am I doing? As well as the light to get less shadow, but not in the way. And then somewhere around there is going to be, I'll just kind of go like this for the buckle and the pants. I assume there is the butactal there. So I'll put something that says that is a belt coming in. Now the thing that's going to be interesting here is that this hand, the reason why it looks like the hand is wider than it should, is because it's making room for the leg. So that's really not the hand. I mean, that's not a big catcher's mitt he's got there. So a little bit of bend. And the thing I'm a little nervous about is how this looks like this arm is longer than the other one, because you got this. So you got this is going to come in. So that's going to be about the same, roughly the same. And this is caricature. The thing that's bad about this cutout, if you notice, now from kind of like the belt buckle up, is relatively to proportion, pardon me. But from here down, I think we don't have as much leg. So he's going to be a little squatty in the leg. Again, trying to work with what we've got, and that's what that's all about. Same with the feet. Now he's going to be, here's what's going to happen now. No matter what, he's going to be looking to his left, that's to our right. Therefore, this foot is going to be like this, and this foot is going to be like this, is what I'm thinking. So in other words, we're just in pencil talk right now. I think the leg out, the foot will be adjusted, of course, and this one here still quite a bit of adjusting to go. Oops. Maybe come back here a little more. So it's kind of, while I'm feeling around with the pencil tip here, is kind of a bit difficult to show you exactly what I'm going to do. Now again, you could just like take a block of wood and pencil in something like this. Or if you just happen to have another cutout or rough out that you lost the ingredients to, it'll look kind of similar to this, where you can put the hand up. We're going to put the hand up. Like I said, we're going to have a cigar. We'll just take a scrap wood and make a cigar for him. Now I want you to understand that here's the body, so therefore we got to make room for the arm. That's obvious. And it's the same here. So what we give here, we should give here. And what's going to happen, I'm going to take it at this angle. Remember, this is the elbow. That should be the farthest out. Out, meaning this way and this way. So if this is the farthest out and there's the hand, what's going to happen, and we'll get to that, is we're going to go from here to here. So now there's a lot of this corner. What's going to happen is from here to at least where the wrist is going to be a straight line. And so a lot of that is going to be cut off. As far as I want to say rounding out, I already put the belt in. Rounding out and putting in, I think the bottom half is pretty easy, pretty simple, except for the way I'm messing with the feet here, is that all of this should be relatively simple, I think. I think this is going to be the hardest part. And then the head. And then, of course, the hat. Because that's way from scratch. That's just right out of my brain there. That's not. Maybe this would be a good time. Another thing is I'm going to do this hat. I'll probably remind you again. The same style as what I've learned from wood carver, Cowboy wood carver. I think hopefully you've heard by now. And Lynn Doty. And I'm not trying to take from him. I'm just doing this kind of what I've learned from him. And he's on YouTube, youtube.com/user/ and it's LO. How do you pronounce his name and how do you spell it? And so I just want to give him a shout out there. LODOUGHTY. And this is his. I want to make sure to give him credit because this kind of answers to the problem that we got here. So I did not come up with this. It just simply, it's a kind of a nice fix for what we got here. And always look at the other wood carving videos that are out on YouTube. Free videos for you to learn. Mine is not the only. Of course, I still would like you to stop by now and again, but see, and then here's the body. So in other words, we have there's no gun other than the hat, just a very simple cowboy. One of the things I do like, one of these days, I would like to make a book on modern cowboys, but I don't know if people are interested in that. You know, they're still interested in the 1800 and very caricature, you know, the bony legs and all that. But I'd like to carve more of this. If you want me to carve more modern cowboys, my style is, I want to say, semi-caricature, somewhere between realistic and caricature. I'm not particularly fond of the big-headed and the big-handed. I mean, they're kind of okay. Don't get me wrong. I like somewhere in, the head is always bigger and the hands are always bigger than the body. For some reason, if you do a caricature or if you do realistic, to me, it almost gets to the point that the head is much too small. All right, let's get carving. Blah, 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 blah. I've always hated that. Listen to other people going on and on. So I want to get on. I'm going to take my V-tool and just kind of go around what I've just put in. And I'm going to put them in. I always have my, excuse me, I'll be hitting the camera a lot. And I am going to put in the lines here. Just take the lines out. And I believe that this is a nice piece of wood, if I'm not mistaken. I got to get in there, get into the camera here. See, to make sure my wrist isn't away. And just actually nothing really spectacular other than just getting in there and taking the pencils out, getting started. Make sure the fingers are out of the way. And again, as I'm chiseling towards myself, let me give this another twist. If I did that twist, there. Then I got that away from my face more. You can see better, and it's away from my face more. Now, when you're chiseling towards yourself like this, you're using your wrist. You're not using your hand or your arm. You are using your wrist to twist. And of course, you got to go in the correct direction. You don't put the chisel down, and you always have an exit strategy here. Is you're just not, you know where it's coming back up. You're just not, now there I was just putting it in and giving a push because I knew I was going in the wrong direction. Okay, and like I said, how much do I want? I want to leave the head for now because I'm not sure how much I want to commit to that neck. All right, and I like to take either a knife or a bigger chisel and start. Now comes the boring part, is these big. And I do have weird, what do you call it, where it's scratching the wood. No, I don't want to stop right now. It's okay. Oh, I'm sorry. Finger out of the way. It's very interesting. Once you get this kind of stuff off, and you see where the hands are. Let me see if I can pull back a little bit this way so I won't make as much, I want to call tool sounds, or rattles. And you're taking this off. I guess I'm going to have a lot of tool sounds at this point. Tool rattling sound. Oops, that's a wrong direction. Hand out of the way. Yeah, this is good cutting wood. But you're still got to get a lot of that lumber off in there. And then I want to square it. Yeah, it's kind of too bad. What you got in front of is a foam core kind of background there, but the thing is I put a lot of pressure on it, puts dents in it, so it's not as clean anymore. So I still want a relatively, it's going to be difficult to try to keep this clean, this carving clean. And for me, if I'm carving by myself, I mean, it looks really ratty while I'm going. So I don't, see, it's not perfectly clean this way and clean this way, though that's what we want to do. Because then you're going to turn your cutout into a rough out. All right. See, I would just keep going.